Hello, this is Tomi Joutsen from Amorphis, and you are watching Interview Under Fire.
So, welcome back to Texas.
Thank you.
So, you've been here, it's been a year since you guys have been back. What do you think when you hear the word Texas? What comes to mind?
Well, I think TV series Dallas from the 80s, because it was really famous in Finland, and everyone in my age really remembers the characters from the Dallas. And that's about it, to be honest.
I mean, do you see any cultural change? I'm sure there is, and it's pretty drastic with like Finland to Texas. And you guys have been doing this for nearly 30 years. You know, what's your favorite part about coming down here? Like favorite part about touring, since you guys are, it's been a year and you guys are already back already.
Yeah.
What's the best part about that?
Well, I think it's really nice to see different cities, and traveling, it's not always that nice when you have to fly a lot. But touring in States, it's always, we are traveling by bus, so it's more comfortable way to travel. And it's nice to see the cities, and we are walking with our bass player Delain, and we are walking around and trying to find some cool places like vintage instruments or clothes and stuff like this. We don't buy that much stuff, but they are mostly situated in cool areas of the city, so it's always nice to go there and see some interesting people and hang around. And nowadays, being a musician, it's quite easy because we don't do any sound checks, so we have lots of spare time. So we really have some time to walk around, which is great. And sometimes we try to find like a gym, or we find a bicycle or electric kick bike or something like this.
Yeah.
And just kill some time.
I think they have scooters around here in Dallas. I don't know if you've seen
they are
those.
fucking dangerous.
So, I mean, now on top of that, because you guys have been doing this for a long time, do you still get nervous before a show? I mean, 30 years almost into this.
Well, I don't know, sort of, but on the other hand, I always do the same routines, no matter is it a stadium or a small club.
Any like rituals you do before
not
shows,
like
anything like that?
religious, rituals. It's more like some physical things, like warming up the body and the mind. It's nothing like a yoga or anything like that. It's just some things that you do before the show, and after you have done that, you are ready to hit the stage, no matter if it's a sweaty club or a big festival. But of course you feel a little bit like pumped before you go to the show, but I'm not sure if nervous is the right word to describe it. But there's something in the air, of course, every time you go to the stage.
Something almost new every time you go to a different show.
Well, not new, but you need to have some kind of power when you go there. If you don't have that, it feels like you are doing something else than performing.
Do you have a favorite festival gig you've played so far in your career?
Well,
I know you played.
I know,
you
but
guys have played Wacken. You played like all these big festivals before. Like anything stands out in your.
I used to go lots of festivals before Amorphis. I've been in a band only like 15 years, so. But my favorite festival was definitely Roskilde Festival from Denmark. But with Amorphis, we have played lots of festivals around the world. Of course, Wacken is special, but we also have some really cool festivals in Finland. For example, Tuska Festival, which is like a metal festival. So it's really hard to pick just one.
So I had a question about, because you were talking about Finland. Who writes the lyrics for your songs?
Nowadays we have a guy who is writing lyrics for us, and he's not in a band, so he's like a host member kind of guy.
You mentioned in one of your previous interviews, I think within the last few years, you talked about the lyrics of your songs deal with the stories about Finland. And how do you feel about that? Do you feel like it's like almost like you didn't know about all this stuff that's in the lyrics, and then now you're actually getting to sing about it? It's like you're telling a story about the Finland's history.
Well, it's not that easy. it's because the guy who is doing the lyrics for us, he takes always lots of inspiration from old beliefs and myths and stuff like this. But nowadays the lyrics are not taken straight from some stories and stuff like this. It's more like an inspirational thing, and he puts lots of things, of course, from his own personal life and the history of himself, and but as a I'm come from Finland, and it's really easy to understand all the themes and all the stories what he's bringing out. But I think for you, for example, it might be a little bit sometimes a little bit different to follow the lyrics because the things are a little bit Finnish, so to speak. I don't know how to describe it, but
do the lyrics get like sent to somebody specifically? It's like, oh, here, Tommy, you take this, or maybe even Essa. I mean, does
No, I think they are sort of universal, of course, but I really love the lyrics because they mean, of course, lot of. Because every time we start to work with a new album, I talk with the guy who's doing the lyrics, Pekka Kainulainen, and we talk about some themes and stuff, but I don't want to give any advice or any ideas for him because I really trust him as a lyricist, and he always brings something new themes out.
The new atmosphere.
Yeah, and I think it's a great fit to our music because we have lots of stuff from old Finnish melodies and stuff like this.
Yeah.
So I think it's a really good combination.
So with the lyrics and everything, you guys have done 14 albums. Now, you actually said something about, and this is very important to me, I'm sure the fans want to know, you talked about metal always being an underground vibe, and how that's important to you. And if it's not, if it's mainstream, it'll be boring. Like, I want to know, maybe the fans want to know too, like, why do you feel that way? And considering you guys have had 14 albums, and you guys have gone through lineup changes, music changes, it's important for you guys to keep the same theme or the same tone throughout your career. And why is that important to you? Like, why is it important that the metal stays underground? And
well, I'm just a member of the band. I'm not the whole band, and that's only my personal opinion about it. But I think the music or underground music, there's a danger there, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because the things are not that black and white. Of course, there are the great band in mainstream also. So it doesn't matter if you have sold like 1 million records or just
one.
Yeah, it could be great. But when you get the sort of level in your career, everything starts to be a little bit too, how to say it, safe in a way. And if you have released lots of albums, you already have your own style, and it's really hard to give any surprises to the fans, so to speak, because the formula is already done.
Yeah.
But I listen all kind of music, not only underground music, and but of course there is more some kind of rebel feeling in the underground,
so
which is interesting.
It's always interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, metal. It's only it's about to reach like 50 years old.
Yeah.
And have you guys seen like any how do I say it? New fans? Have you guys brought any new fans? Like with the 14 albums, like you guys have fans. I think Essa said the Tuonela album that came out in '99. Like he mentioned about fans were kind of disappointed with the change of tone, but he also stated that that album in particular was important to you guys because it was a way to push your ambitions. Do you believe that? Was that album like kind of like a cemented point in your career where it actually vaulted you into?
Well, I wasn't in a band in that moment, but as a fan, I really loved the first two albums, Carrialismus and Tales, and Tuonela was okay, but I didn't love the progressive style that much, to be honest.
The first album was like completely death metal sounding.
Yeah, that's my stuff. And of course,
I personally love it.
Yeah. of course the later albums are also great, and I think they really had to do those albums because they felt that way in that part of the career, and they really loved that kind of music. And if you're honest, you have to be that kind of, you have to create that kind of music that you really love. And it was really brave thing to do because it would have been really easy just to release albums that sound like Elegy or something like this. They have this death metal element there, and you know, but instead they did this like progressive stuff and really sentimental, sensitive stuff, and it was like a red light for some fans, of course. And if you look the whole career, I think it was really important that the band took a big risk, a musical risk in that time, and now we can do almost every kind of music. I mean, style. We can do progressive and we can do death metal style and everything, and all that still sounds quite natural for us as a band.
Do you have anything outside you usually do that helps you with your performance on your albums? Do you have any like hobbies that outside that actually fuel your passion for being in a band? Like any like. Do you even listen to metal like outside? Like
yeah,
any,
I listen
like, artists,
metal
like,
a
different
lot.
artists, like that actually fuel your passion for this music. Like, and some people, I mean, I listen to classical, when I'm not even listening to metal.
Yeah.
Metal's what you do. What do you do on the outside also identifies who you are.
Well, I do lots of sports like boxing and gym and stuff like this, and I also have some local bands in my hometown, and. But I still listen lots of metal and rock. I don't like classic music at all. It's not my cup of tea, but I listen to music a lot.
Yeah, it's interesting. They say metal just derives from blues and classical.
Yeah.
Which is like
two
of the most
Yeah.
The last two things you would think of when you listen to metal. But if you think about it, it's like it does have that. But that's.
I also listen some like PJ Harvey and Anneke.
Yeah. Okay.
Portishead and Massive Attack and Uncle and that kind of stuff. And
it's good to have diversity.
Yeah,
I think
I really
great.
like Turbo Negro, the rock band from Norway. And actually I have discovered on this tour some really interesting bands I've been listening, and that's always great, because sometimes some people live only in the past and they just love the fucking first Venom album is the truth, and everything after that is shit. But I'm trying to be open-minded and trying to pick new bands.
I mean, staying open-minded in these days, I think it's very important.
Yeah.
And doing just that.
Yeah,
so a couple more questions. Now this is interesting. Like, if you weren't a musician, is there something else you would be?
I think I would work with kids.
Really?
That's what I did before.
Okay. My family, we have teachers in my family, so that's that's very cool.
Second grade here.
Oh, okay. Or I don't know what's the right word for that, but I was like a youth worker.
Yeah.
Before Amorphis, I did that like 10 years. But when I joined the band, we had so many tours and gigs, so I had to quit the job.
Okay.
But I really loved it. We had like a youth cafe and we had some bands playing there, and it was like a social work kind of thing. And I really love it.
Dude, that's cool. I take pride in that. So, do you have any plans going into 2020 for Amorphis?
Yeah, we have lots of bands for next year.
Like anything new, like any new album you might expect, or 30 years?
We have we're gonna do some special shows.
Okay.
Next year, that's for sure. We're gonna play some old stuff. That's the plan, and we're also gonna do some festivals. We have already booked some festivals.
Y'all are coming back to Dallas, right?
I don't know.
They're trying to turn, right?
You know, one thing that really bothers me is that people are always asking, why don't you come here?
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why we don't come there is there is no promoter who is willing to have us there.
Yeah.
That's the reason. We just cannot say that, okay, we come to, for example, to, what would I say, like...
New York.
Yeah, Dallas.
Okay. Yeah.
Is there any sense to fly from Helsinki to Dallas just to do one show and then go back?
Right.
Just because someone wants us to come to Dallas.
Demand
it
is
doesn't
high.
work like that.
Fan demand will always
I know,
be there, you know. But I
sometimes
understand.
it feels like, what the fuck, you know. Of course, there has to be someone who really wants, and there has to be demand, and there has to be a promoter who can work with us.
It's a system, and then,
Yeah.
you know, fans, you know, it's, you know, they won't see it from the outside.
It's like if I post a picture in Instagram, the first comment is "Come to Brazil." Okay.
I see it all the time with
Yeah.
like, social media, like any band that posts, and you know, it's just a list. Of,
Yeah.
oh, come here, come
Yeah.
here, come here, come here. But
Of
all
course,
right.
it's great that people are interested, and it's great. But sometimes you just think of, what the fuck.
Aside from that, are you excited for, you know, you're coming up on 30 years with the band, and you guys are going to play these festivals in 2020?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And this is what we are doing for a living, and we are really, this is really important thing in our lives. But on the other hand, we are not kids anymore, so
Yeah.
you know, you have to be realistic. I really hope that we still have like 10 years or something, but you never know.
Hey, we'll still be here for you, man.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Hey. Well, Tomi, I appreciate everything.
Thanks, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Go crush it tonight in
Yeah, I'll
Dallas.
try.
Have a great rest of the tour, and hopefully I'll see you again. You know, whenever the promoter gets
Yeah,
you in
yeah.
Dallas, we'll
Cool.
take care of that.
Thanks,
all
man.
right?